I love reverse engineering. I think that's, the best way to capture it. I love figuring out what I'm seeing in my head, looking at the story to see if it fits, and then communicating that to a team of very talented people to bring all that about. Hi, my name is Kaitlyn Yang. I graduated from USC Film School in 2011. I'm currently working as a visual effects supervisor and CEO of Alpha Studios. When I started USC, one of the first electives I took was special effects. And it really gave me, this kind of outlet to play around with tangible things, right? Of like applying wound and blood and scars and like vampire teeth on someone and figuring out how that looks on camera. And, oh, maybe I just have to do this half of the face because you're not really going to see the other half. Try to figure out all this film language that's still to this day. This, influenced my decision making a lot because I love seeing things in camera. I love getting things practically because that was my entry point, and that was all the knowledge that I carried around with me still to this day of like what we can do practically so that we can do a more successful handoff of not all relying on a computer. What can we do that's tangible that we can have at least something to reference to once, we wrap up production and we're going to post-production. Visual effects is always a visual solution to problems that are serving the stories. And sometimes it's not always front and center, right? We're not talking about talking elephants and battleship exploding and all that crazy stuff happening in outer space. A lot of visual effects is invisible. In fact, a lot, if not all, the TV shows and movies we see, there are invisible visual effects, which is just that. You don't even know if it's there, but without it, you're gonna be taking out of the story a little bit. In 2013, I decided to leave the freelance world and hang up my freelance hat, if you will, and start my own company, Alpha Studios, a post-production company where we provide visual effects for, TV, films, and commercials. I usually start out by reading the script right from the very beginning, and I usually highlight all the lines that would need or require some sort of visual effects and do a quick little write-up to kind of provide a general broad stroke of like, this is the whole story, this is where all the bits and pieces need to be pre-planned for us to film it. And then during production, I'm working closely with the production team to figure out what needs to be filmed in certain ways. Do we need a green or blue screen there? Do we need LED walls? Do we need a film element? Do we need should we get a clean plate for anything else like that? Should we capture anything else? The time of day, the placement of the sun, the year, the season, any of all kind of these info that then will have to be replicated in the computer in a way that is photorealistic, that is seamless, that also doesn't take the audience out of the story. Usually I work closely with the directors and the producers and the cinematographers, production design as well, because it's really a successful handoff between what we film in production and all the bits and pieces, but then taking all that information and being the point person to really lead a post-production team or various teams and vendors, sometimes, around the world as well, to figure out, okay, this is what we filmed, but this is where the end goal is, and how do we kind of reverse engineer and figure out what piece we need to create. As a visual effects supervisor, it's really up to me to lead and motivate and communicate in a way that I'm taking care of my artists and my support staff, and to make sure that everyone has breathing room to, be creative and do everything that they want to do. It's still leaving a bad taste in my mouth whenever I see the end credits and I just kind of see the diversity stopping maybe 2 or 3 seconds as soon as the end crawl started, right? I think diversity is still up the very top, and we really need to find a way to encourage it to move all the way down. We would like our films not only to showcase what the world looks like, but for the people who are also working on this film to be reflective of the world that we live in. And that was me in action. Thank you for watching.